Hey guys, welcome back to You the Boss podcast, episode 102. Have you ever looked around at everyone else's life and thought, how do they figure it out? Maybe you've spent so much time making sure that everyone else is okay that you stopped asking yourself what you actually want. If this sounds familiar, today's episode is for you. Somewhere along the way, many of us accidentally become supporting characters instead of being the main character in our life, and we're people pleasing, and the goals, they don't even belong to us. You only get one life, and if you don't intentionally write your own story, someone else will. Today we're talking about becoming the main character of your own life, not in a selfish way, but in a deeply intentional way. We're going to talk about romanticizing your everyday life. We're going to talk about making decisions for yourself and just creating a life that you genuinely want to wake up to. Grab your coffee, your tea, and let's settle in. Let's get into it. What does it mean to be a main character? I think social media has turned this into like an aesthetic. It's like pretty coffee shops, perfect outfits, European vacations, and it's like slow-moving walking videos. And I think those things can be fun. I think they have their place. But that's not the only thing that makes you a main character. It's not the only thing it means. Being a main character means recognizing that your life deserves your attention. It means realizing that your dreams matter, that your healing matters, your happiness matters, your peace matters. It's understanding that you're not here simply to survive until the weekend or until vacation. You're not here to just check off responsibilities. You're not here to spend decades of your life waiting for someday. You're living your life right now. The biggest tragedy, in my opinion, is not failing. It's looking back on your life years from now and is realizing that you spent your life waiting for permission. Permission to start, permission to dream, permission to change, permission to just be yourself. The beautiful part of that is you don't need permission anymore. We have somehow found our ways living when everyone else's story. One of the easiest ways to lose yourself is by constantly living according to someone else's expectations. Maybe that's your parents' vision of life for you. Maybe it's society telling you what success looks like. Instagram convincing you that everyone else is ahead. Maybe your friends expect you to stay the same because it's comfortable for them. Here's something that I've learned. People are going to have their opinions. If you live your entire life trying to keep everyone else happy, you're eventually going to wake up wondering why you're unhappy. You cannot build a life that feels authentic if every decision that you make is filtered around what is everyone else going to think? How does this look? You should start asking, what feels aligned with the person that I want to become? That's a completely different question, and it changes everything. So let's start romanticizing the ordinary. One of my favorite things over the last couple years has been romanticizing everyday life. Not because things are perfect, but because life is happening. It's happening regardless. And we spend so much time waiting for the next big milestone. When I lose weight, when I buy the house, when I get this raise, when I get married, when I find this perfect job, when the kids are older, maybe I'll have a little bit more money. And suddenly you've spent the last 5 years waiting. So what if today counted? What if today was the day worth enjoying? What if today you lit the candle that you're waiting for the right moment to light? Maybe you played your favorite music while cleaning. Maybe you used the nice glass to serve yourself wine or just water. Take yourself on a solo date. Read outside. Open the windows. Cook something new. This one is my favorite. Wear the outfit that you've been saving. Wear it. Go outside without your phone. Life doesn't become meaningful because extraordinary things happen every day. It becomes meaningful because you learn to notice the ordinary moments. The life that you're waiting for might actually be the life you're living right now. So make decisions for yourself. This one can be a little bit uncomfortable. Especially if you've been a people pleaser, you don't like for people to be upset, you like to keep things fair, you're the dependable one, you're the person who's a fixer. You know, I want you to ask yourself, when was the last time that you made a decision simply because it felt right to you? Not because it made sense for everyone else, not because someone else approved, but because it made sense to anyone else but you. This should be a decision that's aligned to you. Sometimes becoming the main character means disappointing people. And I know that that's hard to hear, but disappointing others occasionally is healthier than abandoning yourself daily. Every time that you ignore your intuition, every time you say yes when you mean no, every time you shrink because you want to make someone else comfortable, you're simply teaching yourself that your own voice doesn't matter. Start listening again. Your intuition is there. It just needs practice on being heard. Create a life that you're excited to wake up to. I want to give you something worth thinking about. If every single day right now feels the same to you, maybe it's time for you to start designing the life that you want instead of reacting to it. Ask yourself questions like, what kind of mornings energize me? Who do I want to spend more time with? What hobbies make me lose track of time? What drains me? What inspires me? Who am I becoming? You don't have to change everything overnight. Small changes actually move better and they make a more remarkable impact on our lives. And it could just be very small, like reading 10 pages every morning, walking after dinner, taking something a little bit more seriously, beginning or going back to therapy. Or maybe it's even just like learning to bake something, planting flowers, calling a friend you haven't spoken to in a while, creating boundaries. Maybe it looks like saying yes to opportunities that scare you in a good way. We're not meant to live this life perfectly. The goal is to build a life that aligns who you're with, that it reflects who you are. You're allowed to change. In fact, I give you permission right now to change. Sometimes people struggle with being the main character in their life because they're afraid of changing. But growth requires that change. You're supposed to evolve. 23-year-old you should not be the same as 33-year-old you. Every season teaches you something. Every challenge shapes you. Every experience introduces another layer of who you're becoming. So when you stay loyal to an old version of yourself, it's simply because other people are comfortable with it. Stay loyal to your future. Stay loyal to you. I've put together some tools to help you become the main character of your life. Number one, it's create a main character morning, whatever that looks like to you. Instead of grabbing your phone in the first 20 to 30 minutes, start with something that nourishes you. Maybe that's reading, journaling, moving your body, meditating, stretching. It can look like maybe getting a workout in or just simply going outside to get sun on your face. Start your day intentionally is the point, instead of starting it by reacting to everyone else's world. Number two, write your personal life vision. Ask yourself, what do I want my days to feel like? What values matter more to me? What kind of person do I want to become? What do I want people to remember about me? Don't focus only on goals. I want you to focus on how you want your life to feel. Number three, schedule joy as if it's an appointment. Everyone has a work schedule. Everyone has appointments. Everyone has, if you have kids, you have extracurricular activities. Maybe your job demands more of you. Maybe you have 2 jobs. No one is scheduling their joy. So this week, I want you to schedule in some joy. Is that maybe going to a bookstore, going to a coffee shop, having dinner with a friend, going on a walk without your phone? Maybe it's a movie night. Maybe not so much a binge night, but a movie that you want to watch tonight. Maybe it's just literally scheduling a massage if if that's something that brings you joy. Like, joy deserves space on your calendar. Number 4, stop asking everyone for permission. Instead of texting 5 friends the opinion on the thing that you're doing right now, I think that can be helpful sometimes, but I want you to pause and I want you to ask yourself first, what do you think? Practice trusting your own judgment. Confidence isn't born from always making perfect decisions. It's built by making decisions and learning from them. Number 5, romanticize one ordinary moment every day. Every night, I want you to ask yourself, what was beautiful about today? Maybe it was hearing a child laugh. Maybe it was that cup of coffee this morning that just hit in a certain way. Maybe it was the sun coming in through your windows or the rain hitting the windows. When you start to notice the beauty, it starts to give you a different experience in your life. I want to make a book suggestion to you, like I usually do towards the end of an episode. And I don't know if any of you do read these books or you go on to listen to them on Audible, but if you are, please let me know because I really do love to give book suggestions. And the book that I'm suggesting to you today is Designing Your Life. This book is actually a research-based book, and it just gives you different exercises to intentionally design a meaningful life instead of drifting through your life. It helps you clarify what truly matters, and it helps you make choices that align with the future that you want. If there's one thing that you take away from today's episode, I hope that it's this. You don't need a completely different life to feel alive. You need to have a more intentional relationship with the life that you already have. You're not here to be an extra in someone else's story. You're not here to spend your life waiting for permission or for approval or for perfect timing. You're the author of this book. You're the decision maker. You are the one who gets to choose what happens next. So start small. Maybe it's taking a class, applying for an opportunity, saying no when you mean no. Or maybe it's just taking yourself more seriously. Protect your peace. Celebrate your progress. There's not a beautiful story out there that comes from doing things perfectly. Those stories are the ones where you choose to be the main character. You choose courage over comfort, and you decide that your life is worth living and showing up for. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. And if this episode encouraged you, share it with someone who needs the reminder that their life matters too. Until next time, and remember, you're the boss of your life, and no one else gets to write your story.